Hi friends, so I am back with another video. I wanted to do a little bit of a follow-up with the video that I did yesterday, I uploaded it yesterday, and I was talking about all the LA riots and all the things. I mostly focused on the riot portion of everything, but I wanted to talk about everything with ICE and the deportation and just come at it from a compassionate yet logical side. Put the humanity in there because we're all human beings. We're all wanting to survive and live the best life we can and all the things. So I wanted to just hop on really quick and just talk about that. So with that being said, I am not going to say that every single person that comes from maybe the northern border or the southern border, wherever they're coming from, I'm not going to say that every single one of them are criminals and terrible people. There's a segment of them, and I think that they should be deported because we have enough crime here to deal with. We don't need to add any more crime when we don't need to handle that. When they come from another country, we don't have to deal with that if they come from somewhere else. Let their country deal with them, especially if they're here illegally. So that's one point. So I do not believe that every single person that's coming here is a criminal, a terrible person, all the things. A lot of people, like I said, everybody wants to make a good life for themselves. They're probably wanting to come here for a better life, whatever that may be. However, there are people who have been waiting in this system, the immigration system, trying to do things the right way. They may have been waiting for years or however long it may be. So those people coming ahead of them is not fair. So we have to put that into accountability, that people are trying to come here the right way, the legal way, get their visas, their cards, whatever it may be. They're trying to do it the right way. So we need to pay attention to what's fair for people who are doing it the right way, not for people to come barging in and getting benefits and all the things. So that's one point that I wanted to mention. Another thing that I wanted to mention is that we have people here in the United States that need help. It's almost like, you know, you're down to your last slice of bread and, you know, you have your children and then the neighbor's children come here. And so anyway, what I was saying is, it's almost like, you know, you're down to your last few slices of bread and your children are hungry and the neighbor's kids come over and they're like, we need food, we need food. So the first thing that you're going to think, you know, I'm sorry, Johnny, I'm sorry, Billy, I'm sorry, Susie, I'm down to my last little bit of bread. I need to feed, you know, my children. Go back home and ask mommy and daddy if they have food. So it's like that. You're going to take care of your own first, the American citizens that pay taxes and they put into the economy and they support this whole government system. You're going to want to support those people first who were born here and have rights to all of the benefits that we have here in this country. It's the same concept. You want to take care of your people first. America first, okay? Americans first. So that's one point of view that you want to put into mind. Like I said, I'm not saying all these people are terrible. Another thing that I wanted to mention is I was listening to something. Piers Morgan had a few guests on his show, and there was a gentleman that was speaking truth and making a lot of logical points about, you know, the deportation and people coming here legally and all the things. And I like the point that he said that, you know, we should do things compassionately. I really agree that we should do things compassionately and think of that because they are human beings. So he said that maybe we give these people, instead of like just picking them up and taking them away, this is just a thought process. And I was just thinking, you know, from the logical side, because a lot of people are very upset about, why are you taking these people away? They've been here for X amount of time, all da. So maybe, like he said, now maybe I'll play a little clipping of that, but he said that maybe we can give these people a heads up, maybe a year's worth of heads up, say, hey, you know what, we can't allow you to be here legally. You need to go through the process the correct way, the legal way, and all the things. Give them a year's heads up, and maybe whatever they paid, I'm adding this part in there, whatever, you know, that they have contributed in maybe their workplace, we can maybe incentivize in their workplace, wherever they're working, to put some money away for them to take with them when they get sent back to where they originally came from. So that's just something to think about. You know, give them a heads up, do it the humane way, the right way, and compassionate, and say, hey, you have a year, get your house in order, figure things out, because you're going to go back to where you came from, and we'll send you with a care package and some change, some money to get you going. So those are things that I wanted to put out there. But overall, all the other craziness that's happening, all this planned riots and looting and all the thing, that's just a bunch of fakery. It's a farce. It's all made up. It's all orchestrated, all the things. But I did want to touch on the immigration side of things and all the things. So let me know what you guys think. Is that a very compassionate way? How would you go about doing it? Because it's something that we could talk about and think about and put our heads together to figure something out, because it is actually getting out of hand. I mean, with mass layoffs, there's Amazon, there's lots of large companies that are laying off, and these people who are here, who are taking our jobs, I mean, if you're making $15 an hour, they'll take $10 an hour, and they'll have 15 people living in one place, and they're able to survive because they don't need very much, and they'll take some of that money and send it back home. Where here in America, if you have a mortgage, if you're paying in car insurance, or you're paying property taxes and all the things, all of that adds up, and you need the extra money. We need our jobs to survive. So that is just something that I've been thinking about, and I wanted to throw it out there because people are like, oh, you're so mean. What is it about the people that are immigrating here? It's not about that. It's really not. It's about logic. It's about taking care of American citizens and people who contribute and hold this whole system up. So let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you all in the next video. Make sure you subscribe, share, subscribe, and some more sharing and subscribing. So see y'all next video. Thanks.
I mean, it seems to me, guys, and talking to Dr. Phil, I asked him this question, but I don't really speak to any Americans. I speak to a lot of Americans, but I haven't met any yet who have any objection in the principle of deporting illegal immigrants who've committed crimes, right? They're all just like, right, straight out the country. Everyone's agreed about that. So let's park. You don't think so?
No. I mean, I live in California, so I have a lot of liberal friends, and a lot of people are not on board with deportations. And I think this is part of the confusion.
Hang on. No, just to be clear, specifically deportation to people in the country illegally who then commit crimes in the United States.
Yes, I think people are on board about that.
Right. So I think we should park that category of deportation targets to one side, because it seems to me everyone's pretty well agreed that in principle that is fine. It gets more complicated when you have, for argument's sake, somebody who came in the country illegally 10 years ago, has now had family in the United States, has got a job in the United States, is paying taxes in the United States. What should happen to that person if they get caught up, for example, in an ICE raid in the neighborhood, and then it turns out they're there illegally? How do you feel about that person being deported?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is the thing that I think everyone was dancing around during the election. I think all people who are here illegally need to leave the country.
Right.
And I think we can do that compassionately. So I don't want to see a mom who's been here for 10 years being rounded up in an ICE raid on the street and suddenly having to go to Mexico 48 hours later. What I want is a system where people are given advance notice. We can give them like a year's notice and say, hey, look, you have a year to get your affairs in order. And although we understand that you're just a human being who wants to have a good life, the thing that makes America awesome is the fact that we follow the rules here. There are 7.6 million people in our immigration backlog who applied for green cards and tried to come here legally. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to us. We need to do things the right way. So we're going to pay you a resettlement fee so that you can go back to your country of origin with minimal disruption to your life. But you do need to go. And is that going to be expensive for American taxpayers? It is, but that's also the cost of restoring the perception of fairness and order in this country, which is something that we've lost, and I think why we're so divided. And if we don't figure out a way to resolve this, it's going to continue to be a political talking point every 4 years. And aren't we all tired of this?
Yeah, I agree with you.